The Vikings have signed Patrick Peterson.
What am I about?
I cannot believe this is happening. So I want to start by saying this is not a huge splash signing, but I am excited because it's a good signing by the Vikings. I need to preface this by saying Patrick Peterson is not what he used to be. Clearly that is the case. He is a very good veteran corner at this stage in his career, a guy that's had just since he was a fifth-round overall pick out of LSU in the 2011 NFL draft by the Arizona Cardinals. He has been a guy that has been a turnover machine. You talk about a guy that has recovered a total of 19 fumbles, forcing 2. 28 career interceptions. Just top to bottom has been a stout corner for the Arizona Cardinals. Now, this last year wasn't the greatest, but we'll go back to even 2019, had a 68.6 PFF grade, and it was absolutely incredible. You talk about a guy that was still playing at 30 years old, still getting up there and doing his thing. Now, this year, have to start by saying now that it was a little rougher for a guy like Patrick Peterson, who was 31. I've got those two mixed up. He was 29 and 30 this year. Here's the point. It doesn't matter how old he was. He's up there in age for an older corner, and to still be making these kind of plays is incredible. I still think he's a big playmaker. Had 3 interceptions last year, and continue to be a playmaker for that Arizona Cardinal defense. Now, what am I expecting from him this year for the Minnesota Vikings? First of all, this signing really reminds me of when the Vikings signed Terrence Newman a couple of years ago. And really, to me, it was kind of impressive. We talk about a guy. To me, it was about signing a veteran corner that could come in and teach the young guys a few things. We're talking about guys like Trey Waynes. We're talking about guys like Xavier Rhodes. To me, it was about being a stopgap corner for some of those younger corners. Now, they signed Terrence Newman way later in his career, and he was, let's be honest, he was probably on the way out for the most part, but he did still put up a couple of great years in Minnesota, playing until he was 39 years old, which is incredible. So they signed him back in 2015. He played a couple of years with the Vikings and was kind of that mentor role for the team, and just really seemed to have a guidance, if you will, or a leadership role over those younger players. And I really think that's what the Vikings are trying to do here with Patrick Peterson. That's not to say Patrick Peterson still isn't a good player. I just don't think he's going to have quite that impact that he did when he was younger, which clearly he's getting older in the NFL. He's just spent at least 10 years in the NFL. But at the end of the day, this is a big signing by the Minnesota Vikings, a 1-year, $10 million deal. As far as cap space, right now I believe is the day that the Vikings have to be in cap compliance, which we're cutting it close, people. They had about roughly, from what according to to Spot Rack here, right before this whole thing went down, they had just over about $7 million in cap space. Now, with this signing, a $10 million deal, I don't know how close that's going to cut them. So we're talking about top 51, that is, for a total cap space. Now, actual cap space, I think, is about $4 million, according to Spot Rack. Now, Anthony Harris does not look like he's going to be with the team. I don't know. It's kind of something we're going to see more as it goes on here. But the Vikings needed to be under cap compliance today. We're going to see how this deal folds out. And more things become available. But as it stands right now, Patrick Peterson has signed a 1-year deal with the Minnesota Vikings. Once again, I am really excited for this for a multitude of reasons, but I think he's going to be a good player and continue to find a role with this Vikings defense. I really think, we talk about the signing of Dalvin Tomlinson, we talk about the signing of Patrick Peterson. This defense is starting to get back to the way it was, going out there and wrecking guys and just taking care of business on that defensive side of the football. Now, I don't know, once again, how this is going to shape up from a cap space perspective, but it is very intriguing. It's very exciting for a Vikings fan right now. I'm not saying the Vikings, are a playoff team yet, but if they keep making moves like this, I still think they've got quite a bit to do, especially in terms of the offensive line. They need to bring in a couple of competent offensive guards, not Dakota Dozier and not Nick Easton. But I think that just what they've done on the defensive side of the football, once again, signing Tomlinson, signing Patrick Peterson, I really don't see a whole lot of other needs in terms of free agency on the defensive side of the football. Once again, they need to go out and get some guards. But they could potentially sign some defensive tackles and see what they could do there. But at the end of the day, I think they could still fill that need via the draft. But this defense is coming together. It's finally getting to the point where I think Mike Zimmer's wanting to see some of those guys, those big name signings that are a little bit older, like Patrick Peterson is a great example. Those leadership guys that come to the team and have that winning mentality, that want to change the culture, that want and need to win. So really excited about the signing. I do think that moving forward, the Vikings will have to do more from a signing perspective in terms of offensive line play. But for right now, just this signing with Patrick Peterson, very big news. Really excited for what it means and what the Vikings will do with it moving forward. So let me know what you guys think about the Patrick Peterson signing. Again, he's 31 years old, former first round pick, 5th overall out of LFCU to the Arizona Cardinals now, who have kind of let him walk. But hey, this is a $10 million deal, a lot from a leadership perspective and a lot for the Vikings. I think this will be very good for the young Vikings corners moving forward. So once again, let me know what you guys think down below. Leave a like and a comment. Helps people find the show. We greatly appreciate all the support that we've already gotten. But go out there and have a great rest of your night, Wednesday night, I believe. Hump day. Let's get it done.